to Meno Quirks, the podcast that says menopause isn't a crisis, it's a comedy. We're talking honest conversation, cold truths, and all the unexpected quirks that come with the midlife plot twist. Hosted by Nat and Sal, we're here to swap stories,
share laughs, and say the things no one warned us about. Well, probably should have. This is your safe-ish space to giggle, groan, and maybe learn a thing or two along the way. So grab your fan, your favourite snack, and let's get into the glorious weirdness of the menopause. Together! Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Claire Bennett, core writer on the BBC Daytime Doctors, which is unfortunately now finished, but it ran for nearly 25 years. Claire had many nominations and won lots and lots of awards, including a Writers Guild of Great Britain Award, a National Soap Award, and a Royal Television Society Award. Can't wait to see that one, because they're fabulous. She's written for Crossroads, EastEnders and Holby City. Today she's come in to talk to us about her journey or her association with the menopause, because she's gone through it.
Yeah, and now we shouldn't be afraid just to say what we think.
Oh.
So as a bit of disclaimer, today's episode has some very explicit lyrics.
Yes, so please do put your hands, shut your ears.
Shut your ears if you need to. We've recorded today's episode in the atmosphere of the beautiful summer bell tent and the cottage garden. The planes are still with us.
I know, they can't keep away, can they? There we go.
So enjoy, because we are really looking forward to meeting her.
Yeah.
Right, so the RTS award that I won, which was lovely, and their Art Deco, which is why I wanted it. Although I had got a soap award, which was like, I didn't care about that. The Writers Guild Award is really cool, because that's like writers judging and stuff. But the RTS award is Art Deco, and it's very lovely. Sober as a judge with my knee, rape episode, really important. I'd phoned up and said, look, I'm not coming to the awards because my knee really hurts. And the woman that runs the awards, Jane, who's lovely, said, I really think you should come to the awards, because I think you'll really enjoy it if you come tonight, and don't think about it again. And I thought,
She's had an email.
and then Mike Hobson, who was the series producer, phoned me up and said, I hear there's a possibility you might not come to the awards. So I said, no, all right, I will come then, but I'm not drinking, blah, blah, blah. Because I always like a bit of a show, guaranteed to make an arse of myself. So I won the award, and it's like the last award, but before the lifetime-y sort of thing. And Joe Lycett had won one of the first awards, and he'd done a filmed thank you, and he ended by saying, and now just fuck off. And everybody went, ha, 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 ha. And then the award before mine was a lovely guy, and I've forgotten his name, he's a BBC correspondent about something in the Midlands, and he's lovely, and he was off his face. He was so drunk, but he was so happy. And he's a gay man with a husband and a child, and he told everybody all about this on the microphone. He was fucking this. So I went up in my blue velvet dress, hobbled up when I'd been announced, and I said, do you want to hear a 60-year-old woman say cunt? And as it transpired, they really did. And that was that. And I made my speech, and it was really important about being given the freedom, and about Debbie Shewell, who was my script editor, and about nobody messed with us because we were women. I was just 60, she's slightly younger than me. They knew they couldn't correct us on anything, because this was about 1.6%, which is that hideous statistic of the number of rapists who come to court and are convicted. So not the gazillions of people that never get anywhere near a court. And that's why we wrote the episode. And it was kind of beautiful, and it meant something, But I dropped the C-bomb at the beginning. And then as I was leaving the stage, all really happy, I want one of these for you. It's well, no, not really. So I was just leaving the stage, and the guy dares, weatherman from ITV, I could hear him just a few feet away saying, do you want to hear Claire swear again? And they were all going, yeah! And I thought, well, I've used my best swear now. And then I remembered a word you taught me.
Oh, God. Oh, I know which one it is.
And my daughter taught me. So I walked up to the microphone and I said, felch. You have never seen so many middle-class people grabbing their phones, Googling all at the same time, and then the chorus of,
She's doing it now! Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
So, the thing is, don't mess with an older woman.
No.
Joe Lycett and lovely man whose name I've forgotten. Amateurs.
Love it.
One, she's very, very powerful now, so I won't mention her by name. But as we left of us at the ICC, she said, I said, I'm ever so sorry if you were offended. She said, no, it's fine. She said, of course I've done it, I just didn't know what it was called.
Oh my God.
So yeah, thanks for asking me to bring my award, Nat. Bet you wish you hadn't now.
Would you? Claire, would you like to whack it on the table?
Shall I wang it out?
Go on then. Chop it out.
I think that this episode
It's going to come with massive warnings, but that's what I love about it.
There we go.
Oh, that's lovely.
Art Deco.
Gonna...
It's not light.
Oh, okay.
But, you see, the Writers Guild
substantial.
one is more prestigious. To be fair, no offence, Royal Television Society.
No, but that is...
But it's a bit off the shelf.
Yeah.
And the Soap Award one just looks like a weapon. Really.
Just a weapon.
Do you keep them on your shelf?
Yeah, I do keep them in the breakfast room on the shelf. Is there you can keep them in the bathroom? No. When I go to Arvon in Clun, sometimes to do tutoring and to do speaking in the evenings to kids, not very often, but I go occasionally, and that's John Osborne's house, and it's the most gorgeous place. And they have his Oscar in the office, but they won't let me hold it because they think I might run away with it. And they could be right. When I won another award, I went into the BBC, and Natasha Carlish, who now is the CEO of Arvon, was working on Doctors. And I went to pick up my soap award, and she came out there, she said, oh, it's lovely, and then she said, because it was she and she'd got one, she said, of course, it's not quite as heavy as a BAFTA.
Love you.
So this is called Forward.
Yeah.
A collection of new writing from 5 wonderful writers who all call Birmingham home. And it's got a great...
It's Cold War Steve.
Yes.
He's my favourite artist.
Like it. I know. I mean, the thing is, we were saying this the other day, that Birmingham seems to have suffered a lot with losing doctors, which is amazingly ridiculous. Because that was not just a great series, it was also a good training ground for new talent, wasn't it, coming through? So that's really devastating, isn't it, do you think?
Well, it is, and it meant that there were some people that didn't have to go to London. I don't know why they cut it. It's bullshit, really. Hyperinflation in... really.
25 years, was it? 25?
Nearly 25.
Nearly
It didn't
25.
make 25.
Okay.
There were many... I mean, if you look at the statistics about how much licence fee is drawn from the central region and how much is spent back, I mean, there is a website, I think it's called Campaign for Regional Broadcasting, but it's, like, unbelievable. Like, per pound generated in London, they get, I don't know, something like 83 pence spent in London and the South East. We get, like, twopence and a kick up the arse.
I know. So going back to the idea that, why you started writing, why you wanted to write about the things that you write about. So quite controversial stuff as well. And really, what makes you want to write? What is it that really gets you that,
I think ideas happen and they're tiny and then they grow in my head. So I've always written about predominantly women.
Yeah.
I started in radio. I did a bit of stand-up. I sort of had an interaction with the BBC when they had Pebble Mill, and then that sort of dried up. So I thought, I shall do stand-up, and then they will come to me. Well, I did stand up. I couldn't stand it. This was in the 80s. Do you remember that? I did that thing at the custard factory.
Just remembering that. People just coming on stage, weren't they?
Yeah, and it was hard because not the doing of it.
No.
But the going around the country to find gigs, and then the horribleness of you'd have to drive home because you know, as a woman, you'd be offered somewhere to stay by the promoter, 80% grubby.
Yes.
You know, if they weren't going to get... the sheets would be sticking together, you know.
Yeah, not
so
nice,
that
not
didn't
nice.
last very long.
No.
But then I did get a go with the BBC. Did this thing called Double Acts, which they got 10 writers from around the country and paired them up to write radio plays. And phenomenally, at the end of that week, they commissioned 5 plays from 10 writers, you know. Sarah Phelps was one of those. She who went on to be the queen of Agatha Christie adaptations, and is wonderful. And is probably menopausal, and I don't care if she is. If she's not, she's in league with the devil. We don't talk enough, do we? We don't talk to our daughters.
No,
I mean, my daughter is actually in Tokyo at the moment, but she lives in Mexico. And I genuinely thought when she was born, when she's grown up, we'll have got it all sorted out. You know, and we haven't.
No, we haven't.
We've gone a few steps forward and many steps back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think the mental health side of it, you get lots and lots of doctors saying different things, which is also quite confusing. And then you get the mental health side where there's literally nothing really, is there? Like lots of things. But everyone is different, so we've all got different symptoms, different problems, different worries and concerns.
And have had them all through womanhood, haven't we? You know, we don't talk about menstruation.
No.
We certainly don't talk about things like endometriosis, God forbid.
No.
You know, we don't talk about the menopause.
No.
We don't talk about women who don't want to have children, although they are now talking loudly about themselves. Good for them.
Yes.
You know.
So I think that I've noticed that since we've started doing this podcast, I've banged on less to other people about it because I'm doing it when we're talking about it properly. I was finding, before we started doing it, me starting sentences with, now I'm banging on about this again, but I thought it was really important that we start the conversation with it.
Yeah.
I could go back, it was still going on, and I was on core writer. I could go back and say, even though the majority of the production team were men, I'm going to write an episode that focuses on the menopause, and they'd have all gone, okay. You know, because I'd done it for so long, and I was allowed to do, and shine lights on things like 1.6%. You know, it's.
Do you think, in that sense, you're in a place of privilege now rather than when you first started, because you are an older woman? We're more like, I'm going to do what I want to do, and men step back a bit and go, okay.
I think I
don't want to argue with that.
It's a combination, because I earned my spurs because I wrote over 100 episodes by the end of it, so I'd got the longevity within the show, and obviously I'd got older. So what was I, probably about 40 when it started, over 60 when it finished, so I wouldn't have got away with what I got away with at the beginning, but because I didn't have the track record and they didn't know for sure that they could trust me, and
that's right. It's a relationship, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's understanding.
Yeah.
And do you feel that you built in enough storylines that covered things like menopause, really got to grips with it? Were you allowed to do that?
Well, not particularly, because menopause wasn't hugely on my agenda, because my own menopause had been like fairly nondescript and uneventful. I was just really happy when I never had to pack tampons in case I got a flash period, you know, which I did. The last one I had was on the day of my father's funeral. Thank you, the goddesses. So when you know that's not going to happen to you again, that's such a relief. And
some people do go through it, so in a way, I guess, putting stuff like that into a character is not your first thought then, you know, when you...
No, but when I met people and spoke to people, like having this experience then, it would become a big deal, and I would do research and I would find a story that illustrated an important element, you know. And there was never another outlet for things like that, and it was so respected, you know. Anyway, it's gone now.
It's so sad.
Yeah,
it's just really sad. But I was looking back. I remember you was telling Sal about a little bit about you from my perspective, and I remembered you doing My Mother and Other Strange Creatures, which I think is a wonderful title.
I haven't been able to find
that
anywhere, so can you tell us a bit
Well,
about...
it's not on anywhere, I don't think. I've got old CDs somewhere. The episode that I sent you of the... So there was My Mother and Other Strange Creatures was a 45-minute afternoon play when the BBC commissioned loads of original drama, and Pebble Mill was supposedly the centre of excellence for radio drama, but it sort of fizzled out, I think. I had a wonderful producer called Peter Wilde, who's still working mostly in theatre, I think, and is Worcester-based. And he... I came to his attention through being an RC mayor and doing stand-up and stuff. He got me onto the double act things, and through him I was commissioned to write that, which was a single voice play, which meant it was cheap.
Yeah.
And was hugely well received, because it was about this RC teenage girl in Aldridge and her mother and her mother's friends.
They managed to get married. My mother and Brian are snuggled in 4-poster 5-star luxury in a Gloucestershire castle built by a duke, whose motto was Doreen Savant. Brian, with his immaculate taste and style, chose it. It translates, roughly, as from now on. They're not taking the room where Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn stayed. Good.
But I remember the mother in that, and I remember thinking, I identify with that, and also my mother as well. And I wondered whether there's some menopausal or perimenopausal stuff going on there, undercurrent.
There would have been.
Thing.
If I'd done more of her, it would have come out. Because Millie's mum was sort of... I remember she tried to take Millie on a triangle of awareness weekend, and Millie said, you can forget that.
Yeah.
We've got to sit cross-legged and think about our foo-foos. I don't think so. Because she was teenage. She was very much based on my daughter.
Yeah.
We had a meal with Peter Wilde, me, my daughter and my mum, so he could have the real feel of it. And I remember Emmy saying that she was about 14 at the time, 15 maybe. And she had the top floor in our house, makes it sound really grand, but it's like an attic bedroom. And I watched her telling Peter, and Peter being totally delighted about how she got ever so drunk once, and she come down the stairs, she made it to the bathroom, and she would have been all right if she hadn't had that family bag of Maltesers. And I said, And I remember picking it out of the radiator.
Did you have like an after Henry kind of situation where your daughter and you and your mother in the basement or something?
We all sort of went when we knew it was us, that was actually being spoken about. And lots of my friends, when they didn't get it, they didn't notice things. I mean, you can quote people verbatim on radio and on the and they don't know. I remember my mentor, Sam Boardman-Jacobs, who lived in Moseley, and the only training I ever had, because I didn't get on with the BBC training stuff at all, was writing for radio at Winterbourne Gardens, led by Sam, who'd been a lead writer on Brookside and had the Sheila Grant Memorial clothesline in his garden. And then he'd moved back up to Birmingham and gone on to the Archers and was doing this Birmingham University stuff. And that was in the days when, for like a few quid, you could go to night classes at the university once a week, and it was fabulous. But the thing that he said to me, which I didn't believe until I tried it, and it's absolutely true, is as long as you change the colour of the cushions on the sofa, they won't recognise themselves.
That's amazing.
And they really don't. They really don't. I mean, thank God.
Yeah, I know.
Really.
I was just thinking that. All those lawsuits. I can imagine it.
So are you on the hunt all the time in your sort of everyday life?
Yeah, it gets
people watcher and
it gets absorbed. I'm nosy. I eavesdrop. I talk to people in the street.
Do people just tell you stuff.
Yeah, they do.
That,
They do.
That kind of...
You, and I've
have you
quoted
written
this,
that
used to do
into?
that thing where on a train, when you were bored, you told me, you would say to people, I'm doing research for a television programme, will you show me what's in your handbag?
Oh, I remember.
Really?
Oh,
And she delighted in saying, they always do.
They did. Absolutely. Oh my God, you've got a good memory.
Quite a spectacular thing, isn't it?
So looking at, I've got here. So looking at building better storylines for midlife women, smart, strong, etc. Is that something that you're doing at the moment? Are you coming up with any new ideas?
Yes,
for anything
I'm in development with another couple of writers, and it's a project I can't really talk about. But again, it's all women, and it's women in times of crisis who fix themselves and fix others.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I hate, and actually it's my lovely brother who died a few years ago, he used to say, I'm not watching anything else, he'd say, that starts off with a woman running away and getting killed.
Yeah.
So as soon as there's and you are, it is
know it.
so common.
Yes.
New drama, oh, that's great. There's a woman,
Yes.
usually in a forest, running, terrified, and she'll get battered, you know.
Yeah.
And that's not the only start of a dramatic story.
No.
And also, it leads on to, we've been talking, I don't know if I've talked to you about it a bit, Nat, about how the children in, say, Gen Z, which is our children's generation, the boys can be quite misogynistic. And where are they getting that from? And then things like that is building on something that's already there. We don't know why it's there. But things like that you're right, it always is that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you add pornography into the mixture, and that explains the unfortunate attitude of lots of young boys.
Yes.
And we really, we
Role
were
models that we
disappointed
don't
because we
like.
hoped it would get better.
My grandson says to me things like, blinking's a swear word.
Is it?
And I'm very tempted to say, no, it's fucking not. But I don't want to get in trouble.
What about women that now feel it's my time of life, I'm going through the menopause, I want to be a writer, I want to write about it. I want to not necessarily write a play, but maybe just write their memoirs, maybe to help other women. With their, what do you think? Do you know of any authors that are doing that, and what encouragement could you give to women that want to do that?
I think everybody that wants to write should write something. I've tutored creative writing classes, and people love writing, and it's not always like they want to be writers whose work is seen and shown a lot. They just want to learn how to get stuff down and make themselves proud of it, and I don't think that's ever the wrong thing to do. I think as far as older women are concerned, it's in the professional environment, it is more challenging. I've recently had joined a group of writers, and as is happening more and more, realised I was the oldest person in the room, which creeps up on you, you know, because you start off as like not really or whatever.
That's true.
And a couple of times people said, it's really weird. He said, younger people said it's really weird. It's just like hearing your grandmother telling dirty stories. I mean, I let the grandmother thing pass, but I do get it. It's like, intergenerational groups of people. You're expected, I mean, still people think of grandmothers and they think of Mrs. Goggins on Postman Pat, don't they? Well, I'm a grandmother, and I'm Mrs. Goggins.
But we're different generations now.
Yeah, definitely. What we've gone through and who we are.
Yeah.
Women are now seen as not the older lady type. Well, they are old, but you know what I mean. They're not seen as that permed, like little old lady with a little
twin set pearls.
Yeah, it's now more. You've got a lot of life experience, and a lot of famous women are very much out there, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, Madonna. What is Madonna? She's got to be 60.
97.
97. Yeah. Pamela Anderson doesn't wear any makeup, doesn't she?
I love her.
She's
just come into this confident persona where she goes, that's me then.
Yeah.
And people are vile about her. You're being horrible because she's not wearing makeup and she's had a haircut.
Yeah, I know. She's not pandering, is she? to what they expect. Like Cher, who looks about
I have
20.
no words.
You know, I mean, they look amazing, but the point is they're not reflecting the age that they are in the same way, I guess, as some men are. Men can go bald, they can have beards and all the rest of it and still look great, looks great, you know. Women do have that conformity, don't they?
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
But we've got, you know, those of us that are bothered by it have got to fight it.
Yes.
I said to you when you came to see me, I haven't worn makeup. It's got to be 7 or 8 years. I haven't dyed my hair. Because at one day I just woke up and I thought, you know what, I've had enough. Don't want to do it. And sometimes, you know, like we went to a party at the weekend and I was the MC and did the quiz and I thought, oh, maybe I ought to put a bit of... No, I'm not. I'm not doing
Why
it.
should you have to? If you feel comfortable and you want to feel that way, you don't want to have that pressure of, you know, looking a certain way, you know, that's important. It's very much a personal thing, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
But I like about going back to the play, you know, My Mother and Other Strange Creatures. Oh, I do love that title. I really love it. I love her accent because, again, the Birmingham accent isn't something that people go, oh, that's a lovely accent, do they? It's normally, I don't know, Scouse probably, or, you know, Geordie or whatever. But the Scouse, the Birmingham in that, the proper Brummie, because Millie's a proper Brummie, isn't
Well, that was
she?
Alex Kelly, the actor. I think she's still working. She's lovely. She did My Mother and Other Strange Creatures. Then there were 2 Women's Hour serials.
Yeah.
Turn Over Your Paper and Start, which was when she was doing her exams, and then 3 Wise Men and a Baby in a Pear Tree, which was because I was for a long time trying to have the longest titles on radio.
Well, you rumbled.
Yeah, I did on Doctors for a while as well. I was doing the almost a film title, and my favourite was it was about a pair of elderly Jewish guys who were both trying to stop smoking, and it was called Schlock, Stock and 2 Smoking Harolds.
Can you talk us through, when you'd write an episode, where would you start? You starting with a character, you starting with a storyline?
Yeah.
Would it be something you'd done in the week or seen somewhere in the week and thought...
Well, the way it worked on Doctors, because I was a core writer, so they had the serial element, which the production produced, and sometimes writers went into those storyline meetings and, you know, generated the stories for every main character. And you would have that as like your overarching narrative, and then you were given an episode and you would come up with a story of the day, which was why it was unique, Doctors. That kind of resonated with the serial or was absolutely contrary to the serial. So you'd get all that and then you'd start thinking about what the story was going to be. And the more you did it, the easier it got, because it's just like a muscle. I probably couldn't do it now. Somebody said, give us a story of the day to fit this.
And what was your turnaround time?
It depends how many episodes they were commissioning, because they did put the brakes on. You know, there was COVID, then they put the brakes on, and I think the powers that be knew they were going to knock it on the head way before anybody was told. But like in the heyday, there was one time that I wrote 10 episodes in a year, so that's quite a output. We used to say that it was roughly from the commissioning of the story of the day. So when they said, yeah, that's great, write that, you do the whole beats of the episode, then you do 1 draft, a second, a third, up to usually about 4 drafts, and that would be over 6 weeks, and then it'd be signed off. So it was quick.
Yeah.
Very quick turnaround. Do they do the same on EastEnders, or was that like...
I don't know, sacked off EastEnders.
Again, what did you do?
Well, I know what I did. I said in a storyline meeting, this is going back a while, I said, yeah, but see, I'm from Birmingham and nobody in Birmingham would be frightened of the Mitchell brothers.
Oh, God, that's sacrilege.
And they kind of all went,
we are.
Yeah. And then my episode was just like, oh, it's not working. Because I was trying to make Phil Mitchell nice.
Yeah.
You know, or show a little bit of a heart.
Yeah, yeah.
And they wouldn't have it.
No. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Gosh. So they have a firm, very fixed
very
don't they?
fixed, isn't it?
Of those characters, you do not deviate from certain things.
It's a different. I mean, I can't watch it, to be honest. It's not me.
No.
They always say, "Oh, you can only write a show if you love it." I don't think that's true.
No.
But I think you struggle to write a show that you positively dislike, and they may have picked that up as well.
They might have done, yeah.
You know,
Slightly.
programmes about people screaming in houses they couldn't possibly have afforded. No.
And you stretch the boundaries, which people don't do anymore. There's like everything's so contained, isn't it?
But we did on serious and worthy issues as well. My last episode was about a trans woman and her first day at work as a woman. And they did, because when they were good, they were brilliant. They cast, a real trans woman, and she had the role that was great, and
Brilliant.
she won, in the story, and it was lovely.
It's really good.
Nice.
Which shows the time now, doesn't it? Because you couldn't have done that a few years ago. So it's that's the time.
But we were always ahead of ourselves. I wrote, although AI denies it because it's a big heap of shit, I wrote the first gay marriage on British television. But now it claims that it was on Coronation Street. That's bullshit.
Tell us about that.
It was two of the characters. One of the main characters was a gay man, and he married his South American lover, Rico.
On Doctors?
On Doctors, yeah. And the day nobody batted an eyelid.
No. Guys, see? Look at that. And then they stop it.
Your medical consultants, how closely did you work with them, and were they men?
As far as I know, they were all men, and they didn't come up with story ideas. They were working GPs, making a bit more money, checking drafts for medical inconsistencies and facts and stuff. But it was very weird, because I remember once my sister had a kidney out, and I went to visit her, and it was at the time where they had you could pay, and you had your own television and phone that would come over the bed, which was quite new at the time. And there was also the real fear of hospital-acquired infections. Was it MRSA?
Yes.
Was the big one at the time.
Yeah.
And I looked at this television, which was above the bench, and it was thick with dust, right? So I went to the ward sister and said, "How come that's filthy?" And she said, "We're not allowed to clean them. They're the property of, it's an American company that put the tech in, and they're responsible for the cleaning."
Well, they're in America. So.
And I put that in an episode, and they wouldn't let me have it.
Really?
They said, "No, that's not true." I said, "I know it's true." I think we'll get there,
We will get
but
there.
finding the strength to say I'm talking bollocks. Loads of times I can't remember. I've no clue what I was going to say next. Talk about something else, and it will come back to me.
Exactly.
And then it will, and it's not embarrassing. It's just like how our brains work.
Just the way your brain is, the information that you've got is coming out in a different way, or not coming out at all. It's stopped at a little bit of a traffic light,
Or
and then
you've
you're
said a
waiting
word that you think is one word, and you're completely convinced that it is that word, and then you carry on talking and realise that word
It's not
entirely something different. And so it's made no sense. I start a lot of my sentences with, "Stop me if I've told you this before," because I have no clue. No clue who I told what to.
And then you get the gloriousness of my mother before she died, who'd tell you these really fantastic stories, and you'd have to say to her, "Mom, that happened to me."
Yeah.
Her best was when she said, "I was on the bus in the middle of Sutton Coldfield," and my sister said, "First of all, you haven't been on a bus for 10 years. I said, "But I saw some rats." She said, "No, you didn't. I did."
I love it. So she's there in that story. I love it. That's brilliant.
So clearly my sister had told the story so fabulously that my mother felt
So she was there.
in it, right in the middle.
Brilliant. Immersed in the conversation.
That's a great story.
Yeah,
my mum
that's
had
good.
Alzheimer's, and she was really fun until she was sort of bedridden, and then it was. But she was great, and she used to come to ours for tea a couple of times a week, and I used to say to Mum, "I've done you a double gin and tonic," and she said, "Oh, great, don't put any gin in it, it's just tonic."
Oh, but she
and
thought
she'd go,
it was.
"Oh, lovely."
Oh, love her.
Double, Mum.
Doesn't matter.
And what's this? It's beef pasta. Was it bollocks beef? It was fake beef.
Oh,
it's lovely.
Oh, I love it.
It's lovely.
Lots of it. Beyond Meat is a great brand, and Moving Mountains is a great brand. Because I make this amazing chili con carne, and it's fake beef and fake pork, because why not?
Exactly, you know? And it still tastes
you
good.
get people that say, yeah, but it's not meat. No, I know.
Doesn't matter.
No, you did. Nothing did, didn't it?
Nothing did.
Absolutely adore detectorists, and it was all filmed in Suffolk, so it does like this fangirl thing in Framlington and stuff like that.
Oh my God, Mackenzie Crook's imagery.
I know.
When he did Wurzel
Worsel.
Gummidge. Oh my, I'm just getting goosebumps just thinking about him.
And
So,
fab.
what is in your biscuit tin then? You were saying sourdough crackers.
Sourdough crackers from the shop. I make them.
Okay.
And also fortune cookies for the grandsons, because they love them.
Okay.
And
Can you buy those by the bag?
you can buy them in Wing Yip in Birmingham, the big Chinese
Big one,
supermarket.
yeah.
But you get them with the Chinese takeaway as well.
Yes, you do. They're fun.
So I'm waiting until they can read properly, because I just make up what the fortune says. Oh, it says you're really lovely. Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If they've been naughty, then what would you say?
It says, oh, you've upset your grandmother, haven't you?
And what you going to do about it in the bad books?
Yeah, as my mother used to say. I mean, she was terrible in many ways. She used to say when you were a kid and you're like, you know, you'd done something really shitty, and then you went and you all had a cry and you went and said, oh, I'm ever so sorry. And sometimes you say yes, but sometimes sorry's not enough. Where the fuck do you go with that? And the other thing, when I was an au pair, when it was the first time I heard my mother come out of my mouth, was when the two kids were barking on about something or other, and I said, I'll give you a reason to cry in a minute. Fucking hell. Where is she?
Your mother rises.
Let's take a moment to appreciate that time where you open your mouth and your
Mother comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
menopause.
Unbidden.
Isn't it?
My foot hurts, well, I'll stamp on the other one.
Yeah.
And then you'll be
Yeah. No, I was 18 when she first came out of my mouth. That was in New York.
Oh, that's
I
incredible,
think it's
isn't
quite
it?
early, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the name of the episode.
What?
About
When
mother
I
coming
open
out
my
of
Your
mouth.
mother comes out of your mouth. Yeah.
When open
I
my
quite
mouth,
like
my
that.
mother.
Oh my goodness.
We have loved talking to Claire.
We
today.
really have. It's been brilliant. And very non-scripted, really. I think most of our shows are non-scripted, but definitely this one was off the hoof, or on the hoof. Is it off the hoof or on the hoof?
I don't know.
Only one of them.
We'll Google that.
Definitely.
Possibly somebody might like to do a little word count.
Yeah, that would be fun. We'll let Claire know how many words are on
We'll
there.
do one more. I went to school after 2 hours of recording and declared, oh, shit on the playground. No, there wasn't shit on the playground. So if you're adding up, you can add those
That
ones
one as well, yeah.
And usually, disclaimer as well, we don't, do we? So this is a really special episode. But, you know, let yourself go. If this is your way of letting yourself go, let it all out.
Let it all out. And actually it's quite refreshing, because they're just words and they're not aimed at anyone, really. It's just an expression of a mood or a feeling or whatever. So to be honest with you, it's not offensive. It shouldn't be seen as offensive.
Shouldn't be seen as offensive, you shit basket.
Oh yeah, daft felcher you. So there you go. We're being very honest and genuine and forthright. And there's another plane.
There's another
on
plane.
cue.
And I'm really genuinely looking forward to hearing what Claire writes next.
It should be really, really good. And so we'll have her on again, I think.
Yeah, here comes the plane to take our sanity. What's left of it.
Okay then, we're off together. Just a reminder, we're not doctors, and the information shared on this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Everyone's experience with menopause is different. So please speak with a qualified healthcare provider before making any medical decisions or changes to your health routine. You've been listening to the Meno Quirks podcast, brought to you by Small Talk Podcast.